Part 64. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 631. At first, Xiaoming thought this was a normal phenomenon. The game compartment of Martial Arts Planet might have been leaked to the black market, and it was normal for some people to play it. After carefully interrogating the gangster, he found out that this was not an accident caused by the game leak, but a sinister conspiracy of a hostile force. Xiaoming suspected that it was the force that tampered with the Sheneng spacecraft. You should know that the more than 1,000 natural passengers on the Sheneng spacecraft are the cornerstone of the Sheneng plan. Letting them play games is also to improve their physical fitness, and they can play a greater role in the process of immigration to alien planets. To establish a base in space, survive and develop, good physical fitness will definitely be of great use. In case of good luck, the target galaxy has a planet that supports life. When facing alien beasts, martial arts are very popular. Not to mention, once the passengers who know martial arts are selected by the reincarnation space, they can also increase their chances of survival in the reincarnation space. The role of more qualified reincarnations in promoting the Sheneng plan is self-evident. Therefore, these people are the absolute cornerstone of the Sheneng plan. So this hostile force planned to do something to these passengers. Of course, they couldn't hurt the passengers physically, they could only find ways to hurt the passengers' spirits in the game. Among the 14 secret realms, the Shen family must have kept a close eye on those large and popular secret realms. It is almost impossible to make any moves, only small secret realms have a chance. Of course, even for small secret realms, the Shen family will not completely ignore them. So this hostile force first bribed a group of people in the Shen family. This group of people happened to be responsible for the Legend of the Condor Heroes, one of the 3 starting secret realms. The enemy also made some moves in this secret realm. Privately built a batch of game warehouses, summoned a group of underworld forces, and let them enter the secret realm of the Legend of the Condor Heroes. Controlled the low-end forces of the entire secret realm, and made the atmosphere of the secret realm smoky. Any player will be blackmailed and attacked by them, and they will never let the players on the Sheneng complete the task and open the second secret realm. In this way, a small group of players were completely trapped in the secret realm of Lianchengju. They suffered under the oppression of the underworld forces day and night. It is conceivable how great the psychological blow would be to these players. Many of them would think that the Shen family was intentionally bullying them. What's worse is that if the player surrenders, this player will completely go astray. In the future, he will become a troublemaker in the immigration plan, more than enough to cause trouble than to accomplish things, and more than enough. From the perspective of human nature, some players will definitely surrender. Even as time goes by, it is unknown whether all of them will surrender. In order not to be discovered by the Shen family too early, they not only bribed a group of members of the Shen family, but also arranged their own personnel to complete the tasks of the Lianchengju secret realm and open the second secret realm. These people can intentionally or unintentionally reveal the information that everything is normal in the Lianchengju secret realm in other secret realms to reduce the suspicion of the Shen family. After they control the Lianchengju secret realm, even if the Shen family occasionally sends people to check, they can pretend to be a harmonious atmosphere. Of course, even so, this matter cannot be concealed forever, and it will be exposed sooner or later. By then, they still have several follow-up plans. In fact, a few months ago, this matter was on the verge of being exposed. However, the Xin family suddenly had problems. With Xin-ku seriously injured and Sheneng-tu in danger, the Xin family had no spare energy to check a seemingly normal starting secret realm. Even during this period, the Xin family had no spare time to manage any secret realm. All their energy was used to solve more serious problems. As a result, the enemy's conspiracy in Lianchengju continued, and even the gangsters became more blatant. However, as the saying goes, a blessing in disguise. The crisis of the Xian family's spaceship attracted Huang Xiaoming. As a result, not only did they easily solve the crisis, but they also immediately discovered the problem in the Lianchengju secret realm. At this time, the hostile force did not know that the crisis of the Xian family had been resolved. Of course, because the characters of these gangsters died in the game, if they reported it, they should be alert. Xiaoming also immediately notified the head of the Xian family. He didn't even need to leave the game himself, he just arranged a shadow clone to go to the bridge. Too much bullying. After hearing Xiaoming's report, Xianku, an S-level reincarnationist, burst out with momentum. Many small items around him shattered. Fortunately, he was sensible, otherwise the shadow clone would be shattered by him. It's true that a lean camel is bigger than a horse. Even if Xianku was seriously injured, his momentum could directly destroy the third-level shadow clone. S-level masters are really not bragging. After all, Xianku was seriously injured, and this burst of momentum brought about the aggravation of his injuries. And Xiaoming was helpless about his injuries. Maybe putting Xianku in Kunlun can heal his injuries. But Xiaoming's trust in Xianku is far from that level. In fact, he won't even reveal Guangmingding to him. Master, thank you so much. This news is too damn important. Xianku expressed his gratitude sincerely and swore. At the same time, he took out something from his space equipment, a colorful light ball. It slowly floated towards Xiaoming's shadow clone. What is this? The shadow clone made a question mark face. I guessed that this might be a thank you gift, but what's the point of giving the thank you gift to the shadow clone? This is an ability that cannot be determined by level, the forging method of Zanpakuto. Don't worry, there is no difference between giving it to the shadow clone and giving it to you. I can't believe it. Huang Xiaoming didn't dare to take it lightly. He quickly quit the game. The light ball merged into the shadow clone, and at the same time a strange piece of knowledge entered Xiaoming's mind. Xiaoming found that he really mastered the basic method of making Zanpakuto. Of course, he is still just a blacksmith who has just learned to forge iron, and has no experience at all. If you want to really make a decent Zanpakuto, you still need to practice hard. Captain, this gift is really too heavy. I really am ashamed of it. Huang Xiaoming's real body quickly came to the bridge and thanked Xianku in person. I deserve it, I deserve it. I still have something to ask of you, Xianku said sincerely. Giving such a good thing is not Xianku's original intention. It doesn't mean that he can't find other suitable gifts. However, no one in the Xian family is qualified to bear this thing. Even if he was in his prime, he couldn't do it. There is a problem of matching here. Most of the Xian family are fighting factions, and few people are willing to do the work of blacksmiths. Those who are willing to do it don't have enough qualifications. Xiaoming was lucky to have found a loophole. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 632. It is not surprising that Xiaoming has the right qualifications to forge a Zanpakuto. We all know that what Xiaoming likes to do most is to tinker with all kinds of weird things. The making of a Zanpakuto is absolutely to his liking. This makes him feel that he owes a big favor. The truth is far from that simple. To be honest, almost no reincarnation is willing to forge a Zanpakuto by himself. Because every time a Zanpakuto is forged, the forger loses a certain amount of spiritual power limit. This loss is almost irreversible. The more powerful the Zanpakuto is, the more spiritual power limit is lost. In the original work, all the Zanpakuto in the world of death were forged by Namiya Wanjiao, who is called Sword God. We don't know whether he needs to consume the spiritual power limit, unless we travel through time and ask the author. But this is the setting for forging a Zanpakuto in the reincarnation space. Even if there are natural treasures and elixirs that can increase the spiritual power limit, But wouldn't it be better not to lose it? Moreover, the loss of this upper limit actually consumes the potential of the reincarnationist, which is irreparable. Even S-level reincarnationists are no exception. But even so, no big family will let this ability flow out. Who can't train a few outstanding dead men? As long as there is strength, there are always more solutions than difficulties. And there is no need to die to do this. You will only become a useless person, and the family will definitely give you enough compensation. It's just that this ability can only be given to one person, so it is only worthwhile to cultivate a reincarnationist with higher spiritual power. It's best to be a reincarnationist with high spiritual power but no fighting and other talents. The Xin family is not a big family with many talents, and it can't train a suitable reincarnationist for the time being. This is a bargain for Xiaoming. Xin Ku gave this ability to Xiaoming, which seemed generous, but actually laid a trap. Of course, in order to show that he had a clear conscience and was open and above board. Xin Ku did not hide the fact that forging a Zanpakuto would consume the upper limit of spiritual power. He also carefully reminded Xiaoming that he must not forge it easily unless necessary. This is a conspiracy. According to the characteristics of the reincarnation, for the sake of strength, not to mention the loss of the upper limit of spiritual power, sometimes, even the loss of life is not a pity. Given the relationship between the Xin family and Xiaoming, Xiaoming made a Zanpakuto, and Xin Ku felt that his family would definitely be able to get the moon first. It's not that he plans to rob it openly, just spend money to buy it. The Xin family does not have enough talents, but they are not short of money. Wait until the current difficulties are over. Shennan number 2 is a big treasure and a big treasury. This spaceship is full of high technology inside and out, and any of it is of great value. No matter how many Zanpakuto Xiaoming makes, the Xin family can afford it. Xiaoming still lacks experience and has not figured this out. He is really grateful to Captain Xin Ku. The main reason is that any ability will definitely change when it comes to Xiaoming. Xiaoming does not need to consume the upper limit and potential of spiritual power to make a Zanpakuto. It is better to directly consume a little source energy. Source energy is such a powerful thing. Forging a Zanpakuto will not consume the upper limit of source energy. It is just normal consumption. So for Xiaoming, he could not empathize with this loss, so he could not see through Xin Ku's conspiracy. He also happily took the job given to him by Xin Ku. Regarding the disruption of the secret realm of the legend of the Condor heroes, Xin Ku invited Xin Shui and the housekeeper Xin Ping to discuss it together. The group responsible for the secret realm of the legend of the Condor heroes must have rebelled, this is beyond doubt. However, the family is now in internal and external troubles. If they take action directly, they may be afraid of the enemy forces and launch a large-scale attack instead. Now only one secret realm is disturbed. If the other party is strong enough and finds out that the matter has been exposed, they are likely to invade all the secret realms on a large scale. With the current situation of the Xin family, not to mention that it is difficult to deal with, even if they can deal with it, they will kill 10,000 enemies and lose 5,000 of their own. Therefore, this matter must be handled with caution. The most appropriate method is to not use the manpower of the Xin family and pretend not to know. Ask for external aid, that is, Xiaoming, to go to the secret realm of Lian Chengju to settle things. At the same time, the Xin family will actively investigate the identity of the enemy and contact their own allies to make full preparations for counterattack. Of course, the most important thing is to quickly solve the problem of Xin Ku's serious injury. As long as Xin Ku can recover, any trouble can be settled. If Xin Ku cannot recover, then it is necessary to shrink the position as soon as possible and train the next successor, so that it can come back 10 years later. And the candidate for the successor, Xin Shui, who is currently supported by Xiaoming, is definitely the biggest favorite. In order to prevent the Xin family from becoming someone else's family and not to make wedding clothes for others, Xin has to be on guard against the leader. Take money from others and eliminate disasters for others. Xiaoming accepted the gift and had to find a way to solve the troubles of the Xin family in the secret realm of Lianchengju. What to do? Brainstorm. Xiaoming called Xiao Jing'er first, but it turned out that his sister was participating in military training at school, and it was still closed. A few days ago, Xiaoming didn't care when he heard about it. Unexpectedly, he was not even allowed to make a phone call. Forget it, I have to go find Brother Wen. Zhang Wen is so happy now. A large local company in Dongdu signed a long-term cooperation agreement with Brother Wen's figure company. The condition is that Zhang Wen will help them build a figure processing factory in Dongdu. The two sides split the shares 30-70, and Brother Wen invested in technology. He has no skills in making figures, he only has saliva. He can actually get 30% of the dry shares. This is a way to give him money. The other party also rented a high-end villa for him, and even matched it with a secretary, a chef, a cleaner, etc. He was simply worshipped. Brother Wen was not polite and enjoyed this service to his heart's content. But he was not stupid. He resolutely marked out several rooms around his bedroom as forbidden areas. No one except himself was allowed to enter. The other party expressed understanding and respect. Seeing that a barrier sealed these rooms, the eyes of the beautiful secretary lit up. It was indeed something. In Guangmingding, Xiaoming explained the matter of Lianchengju to Fatty in detail. Fatty's eyes also lit up. Xiaoming, don't lie to me. Are you talking about that martial arts planet, the flying snow? Of course it's true. I will never lie to you, Xiaoming answered solemnly. Then I want to play. Right now, the fat man also looked serious. Damn. I came to you to help me find a solution, don't just play. If you can't think of a solution, no way. Xiaoming, this is the solution. No matter how powerful you are, you can't handle it alone. Zhang Wen looked like you were so stupid. Invite more people to play games, and get a group of people to play against him. Don't tell me you can't get more people to play games. Of course not. Maomoer and Xiao Shenan can both be servers. I can also make a game warehouse with a little effort. Oh my, it's really a good idea. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 633. Brother Zhu Xingxiu, this is what happened. Do you think it's possible? Once again, Xiaoming invited Zhu Xingxiu to lunch at the barbecue restaurant near the game studio and told him about the secret realm of the legend of the Condor heroes. Xiaoming also told him some basic information about the Shenan project. This should actually be kept secret, but Xiaoming trusts Zhu Xingxiu. A few months ago, Zhu Xingxiu taught Zhang Xiaoming a lot of fighting skills, and he was also the model/prototype of Xiaoming's Special Forces beast. Xiaoming has observed him for a long time and his character is absolutely reliable. In fact, Xiaoming originally planned to find Sister Hongqiao to ask her how to handle this matter. But he changed his mind and gave up the idea. If all things are troubled by one family, not only will it make one side appear incompetent, but it will also be easy for others to see through the truth. Since Zhang Shizu's zombie lineage and Li's lineage are already two well-known allies, then the ally of the Shen family seems to be better hidden. To gather people and march into the secret realm of Lianchengju, Xiaoming prepared two lines, one bright and one dark. The bright line is the people recruited on Pangu Star. This line is likely to be exposed in the future, and it can also play a role in concealing others. The hostile forces of the Shen family sent the underworld to make trouble. To fight against these people, Xiaoming naturally thought of retired soldiers and policemen. Xiaoming only knew one person who was most suitable to lead this team, that is, Brother Zhu Xingxiu. Soldiers and policemen are a group of people with the strongest sense of honor, mission, and justice. Of course, there are a few scums among them, and no profession can avoid them. After these people retired from the army, some of them were able to get along well in society, but a large number of people, because they adhered to principles and did not know how to adapt, struggled to make progress. Some people were even forced by life to go to the extreme and commit crimes. Xiaoming's target is these people. Since there are no suitable jobs in the real world, they can go to the game to fight crime. They can also get a good salary here, which is the best of both worlds. In fact, this is the wisdom of many online novels. Xiaoming was able to think of this because he had read some novels. So Xiaoming, a homeboy, rarely came out of his house and came to the warehouse area where the Magic Dragon AOTN studio was located. He took the security guard Zhu Xingxiu to have lunch and explained his purpose. "Zhang Xiao, please speak up. I shouldn't have postponed such a thing. It's just that my father's lung disease has worsened recently, and my mother's health is not very good, this, that." Zhu Xingxiu said apologetically. His parents' health is indeed not optimistic. He has been thinking of ways, but he didn't dare to go to Xiaoming to borrow money. This time Xiaoming took the initiative to find him, and he didn't want to miss the opportunity. It's just that it's easy to catch a tiger in the mountains, but it's hard to ask for help. For people with Zhu Xingxiu's personality, it's even more difficult. If he went to find his former comrades and friends of life and death, he could ask for help. But these people are basically in the same situation as him. Some of them still need his help. Who to ask for help? Xiaoming slapped his thigh and said, "Brother Zhu, you should have told me about this earlier." Don't say anything, take me to see my uncle and aunt right away. Let's go." Xiaoming pulled Zhu Xingxiu up and ignored the half-eaten meal. It was a buffet anyway, so it didn't matter. On the way, Xiaoming explained to Zhu Xingxiu that he had received the true teachings of a Chinese medicine master and had the ability to cure diseases. The Chinese medicine industry on Pangostar did not encounter the setbacks of the parallel world. The Chinese nation led the world into modernization, and Chinese medicine naturally progressed with the development of science. At the same time, the world of Pangostar has a reincarnation space, with all kinds of supernatural powers, strange items, mysterious bloodlines. As a result, science has not been able to dominate, and there are too many things it cannot explain for the time being. A few things randomly made from the reincarnation space are not something that Pangostar's current scientific level can understand. So Chinese medicine is the absolute boss of the medical community on Pangostar. Zhu Xingxiu was full of confidence in Xiaoming when he heard this. This is very different from the treatment Xiaoming received in the world of Zombie Covenant 2. We know that Xiaoming's so-called true Chinese medicine is just a name. He relies on the telepathy and healing magic of life-saving golden needle to save people. Of course, he also knows something about medicine. In the world of Zombie Covenant 2, he learned a little bit of basic knowledge in this area. In order to avoid being asked questions without knowing anything. The treatment process is very simple. Zhu Xingxiu's old father just has bad lungs. After using a few healing spells, he directly returned a pair of healthy lungs. Please note that other people's primary healing magic cannot achieve the effect of Xiaoming. A person's abilities will definitely affect each other. Xiaoming's source energy, alchemy, body shaping and other abilities all affect the use of healing spells, and essentially enhance the effect of healing spells. Zhu Xingxiu's old mother actually has liver cancer, but it has not yet appeared. Healing spells can't handle this, Xiaoming must use the life-saving golden needle, and it will take some time to treat. Zhu Xingxiu also wiped a cold sweat after learning about it. He didn't doubt at all whether Zhang Xiaoming was lying to him. He believed Xiaoming's diagnosis directly. After all, his old father was like a good man in the time it took to stick an incense stick, and this couldn't be deceived. More importantly, he thought of his fellow brothers who were in the same situation as him. Who doesn't have elderly elders in their family? At this age, with such a family situation, few elders are healthy. Almost every brother is worried about their parents. Some elders of the brothers have been killed by diseases. Some brothers are even seriously ill at a young age. Xiaoming, a master of traditional Chinese medicine and a big sponsor, appeared at the right time. It is exactly what everyone needs. If you work for Xiaoming, you can get both work and medical insurance. For the welfare of the brothers, Zhu Xingxiu can't care about being embarrassed. When he told Xiaoming about this idea, of course he hit it off. It's easy for Xiaoming to treat diseases, and Xiaoming is definitely not short of funds. He has saved tens of millions of gold coins in the game, and the synthesized Chinese currency has exceeded 1 billion. He can hire them with high salaries. Of course, Xiaoming himself doesn't plan to show up for this matter. Everything is done by Zhu Xingxiu. In the eyes of outsiders, he has attracted an investment, established a game studio, and taken a big job. Things like treating people are all done in secret. The matter of veterans entering the Lianchengju secret realm must be kept secret. To be on the safe side, Xiaoming not only used telekinesis to personally observe every brother recruited by Zhu Xianqiu. He even bought a relatively strong confidentiality agreement from the reincarnation space. It can also be used for ordinary people. This line is Xiaoming's clear line in the Lianchengju secret realm. It can also be regarded as a small force of his Unpangu star. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 634. With money in hand, I am not worried. With sufficient financial support. Zhu Xingxiu is actually quite smart. After discussing with Xiaoming, he contracted a mechanical processing factory located in the suburbs. He has many comrades working in this factory. Some are security guards, and some are workers. Another is a technician, and he is also a rare one who is doing well. The factory's business is in mechanical processing, and this Xiaoming can really help a lot. Just make some high-end products, and the factory can turn losses into profits. Of course, this factory is just a shell to deceive people. It is okay to operate normally, and there is no need to make a lot of money. All the staff are employees of this factory on the surface. Among them, those who are checked by Xiaoming and can be trusted will join the interest group in the factory, that is, the game studio. According to hearsay, what they actually do is to accompany the son of the investment boss to play games and play house. With the confidentiality agreement of the soul space as the endorsement, Xiaoming can rest assured to recruit people. As long as there are no big problems with their personality, they are all okay. Some people are really not suitable for entering the game, and the factory can also provide a job that provides them with food and clothing. Some personnel even have disabilities in their hands and feet, and Xiaoming can provide very good prostheses. Moreover, the disability in reality does not affect the game experience. In the game, these people are healthy, but live more comfortably than in reality. The recruitment of employees is mainly veterans, especially those with difficult economic conditions and those whose family members are troubled by diseases. The combat effectiveness of veterans is good, and it can be said that it is easy to deal with those gangsters. In reality, they also have to pay attention to mercy, so as not to kill people. As a result, they showed mercy, but the gangsters did not, and the soldiers suffered. There are not so many details in the game. They can let go of their hands and feet and beat those guys who deserve a beating. Xiaoming will continue to observe these people. If they are reliable enough, Xiaoming will give them the seeds of internal force. Let them really learn some martial arts in the secret realm more easily. The studio also needs high-end combat power. According to the setting of the secret realm of martial arts planet, some of them may even surpass Xiaoming. Zhu's Inxio is the bright line, the dark line is Xiaoming's insect humans. Almost all of Xiaoming's insect humans are in the Chu galaxy, which does not affect their game. The insect humans use the game cabin provided by Xiaoming to enter the martial arts planet as ordinary people. To be honest, they are not very interested in the Zerg game. After all, they are the Zerg humans who have followed Xiaoming and have seen a corner of human civilization. However, only the Zerg humans bred by Lu Xiaoming himself, who have a limited difference in appearance from humans, can participate. Those who were originally Zerg and transformed by the Zerg evolution needle do not have the conditions to enter the martial arts planet game. Before, there were only dozens of Zerg humans under the command of the insect king Lu Xiaoming, but now he can work hard to breed more. Moreover, Zhang Zhong is recovering from a serious injury. Xiaoming really wants to see if he will be given a rank 7 personal guard when the 100th Zerg human is bred. This ideal result did not happen, and the seriously injured Zhang Zhong still firmly occupied the position of the first guard. If we look at the problem purely from a utilitarian perspective, Xiaoming seems to have to give up Zhang Zhong. In this way, he can quickly get a new 7th level guard. And Xiaoming's giving up can be very gentle, just leaving Zhang Zhong in a certain reincarnation world until he dies. But Xiaoming is still unwilling to give up this guard who has followed him for the longest time. It's nothing more than waiting for a while. The Zerg King has been supervising the construction of the Zerg nest during this period, and part of the nest will be built into conditions suitable for human habitation. Xiaoming has obtained 5 skills from the Zerg Spirit Sea. They are, Scan Map, Spirit Shield, Zerg Conquest, Wormhole, and Zerg Mist. There is only one skill left to cap it. Xiaoming estimates that he is not in a hurry to learn skills, so it is better to keep the last vacant position. Explore the Spirit Sea for a while and try to understand most of the skills. Choose the one that suits you best. You can even wait until the critical moment to consider the choice of the last skill position. Moreover, Xiaoming can also learn the Zerg's mental skills from other Zerg. For example, Xiaoming learned the spiritual kingdom and gene regulation from Queen 001, and learned the Zerg game skills from other overlords. Now the focus is no longer on the Zerg. Xiaoming is more concerned about learning the skills of the Protoss from the Protoss God realm. However, most of the God realm is knowledge, not skills. And that knowledge is quite attractive. It always makes Xiaoming immersed in it. So although Xiaoming goes to stroll for an hour every day, so far, except for the first feedback skill, Xiaoming has only learned one new skill, illusion. It can consume mental power to create an almost real illusion for the living body, which is difficult to distinguish. The number of illusions depends on the mental power level. Xiaoming can create 6 illusions at a time. If he uses 3 heads and 6 arms, 3 souls work together to create 18 illusions. It is also quite bluffing. Before these illusions disappear, Xiaoming can no longer create the same illusion. However, an illusion is just an illusion after all. It is much better than a shadow clone in terms of being indistinguishable from the real thing, but it has no attack capability, but its durability is acceptable. It takes a long time for the enemy to attack the illusion before the durability is exhausted. This skill is difficult to detect, and it is still very useful for Xiaoming. Shadow clones cannot deceive reincarnationists. Generally, C-level reincarnationists can detect shadow clones. Sensitive D-level reincarnationists can also do it. But the illusion is more deceptive. According to Xiaoming's judgment, it is probably at the same level as his own invisible suit. Even B-level reincarnationists can be deceived. Xiaoming took some time out of his busy schedule and logged into the main game of Magic Planet several times. Among them, the dead reporter learned from Jiatang Qingzheng and obtained the racial talent intermediate construction. The troops led by the dead reporter gain construction capabilities, and the construction efficiency is increased by 10%. Corresponding drawings are required for construction. Intermediate construction talent will bring a random construction blueprint to the dead reporter every week. And the first blueprint is the blueprint of the 5th level barracks of the undead. Due to the skeleton specialty talent of the dead reporter, the blueprint has changed accordingly. Originally, the normal rankless barracks of the undead were the mausoleum, which could produce the rank 5 corpse wizard. It was a long-range troop with strong attack power. At the dead reporter, it changed to the skeleton mausoleum, which produced the rank 5 skeleton wizard. It had lower HP than the corpse wizard, but was faster. After the dead reporter's skeleton wizard's specialized talent, their combat power would be stronger. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 635. The newly obtained Level 5 Barracks Blueprint. The game system actually allows the intelligent program to make the decision, and directly build the skeleton mausoleum in the funnel city. It's true that it is Xiao Ming's first choice. Since the intelligent program is willing to make the decision, let it do it. It doesn't hurt for them to bear more burdens. On the adventure map, the White Fang Chamber of Commerce branch in Grey Bone City is doing a booming business. Although the boss is often away, he provides a large number of products from other races. These things are very popular in Grey Bone City. With the support of the city lord Bai Yulin and the control of the intelligent Grey Bone Yi, it made a lot of money as soon as it opened, and it was profitable in many ways. The products of Grey Bone City are also very popular with other races. Xiao Ming suddenly thought of Xiao Shenan. Xiao Shenan was also an artificial intelligence. Xiao Ming's awakening spirit turned it into an independent existence. It seems that he can do the same operation with the artificial intelligence Xiao Er and Xiao San'er. Xiao Ming's awakening spirit has not yet produced a soul with a bad character, and of course there is no particularly outstanding one. It can only be said that it's okay. Thinking that Xiao Er was originally the original intelligent program of his own replica, and he had caused it to crash, he felt a little guilty. So Xiao Er, as a pioneer, was given an independent soul by Xiao Ming. Later, the response was quite good, and Xiao Ming successively awakened the souls of Xiao San'er, Xiao Sier, and Xiao Wu'er. Only Xiao Lu'er was still a broken intelligent program. He could not be awakened for the time being. Xiao Er and his friends' main business was still playing games. After having souls, they had almost the same authority as players. There were more things they could do. They were definitely a group of high-level substitutes. In addition, they could also control some of Xiao Ming's replicas in the Yanhuang 3-star system and complete some military tasks for Xiao Ming. This was a plus. They could even explore the secret realm. In fact, the secret realm was the favorite of the intelligent programs. But Xiao Ming strictly restricted these side jobs to be done after the main game was suspended. Otherwise, these naughty guys would really abandon the characters in the game. This was all learned from Xiao Ming. Xiao Er and Xiao Wu were originally A-level intelligent programs, and they were very good at doing these things. Xiao San and Xiao Si were a little dumber, but not bad. In fact, Xiao San and Xiao Si were good kids, much more obedient than the other two. The diver delivered a hero mission to Naga Gerald, 300 weapons. Recently, Xiao Ming has focused on other things. The quality of this mission did not reach the ideal level he had expected. But he still got a good reward. The diver became a green elite hero. He got the racial talent, primary blacksmith. He can provide equipment to the troops on the strategic map. The premise is that he has learned the blueprints. The number of equipment forged is limited to the range corresponding to the command power. Initially, the diver has 100 points of command power, and the diver can forge as many sets of equipment as the number of arms that can be matched. The strategic profession is Naga Blade Master, and the level is also the initial 0th level 0, which is quite standard. However, as the leader of the Underwater Temple of Light, the diver has the power to build a temple guard in the strategic map and the adventure map. The guard in the adventure map is recruited and built by Gerald on behalf of the Naga clan. On the strategic map, the diver directly obtained the primary Navy Admiral skin. He also gained the title of the first Admiral of the Temple Guard. The diver was lucky to have the Admiral skin as soon as he appeared. Naturally, he triple strengthened it without hesitation, level 0/40. When he was transferred to the strategic map, the diver found that the agreement between the diver and the Naga headquarters also included the strategic map. On the strategic map, the diver also obtained a temple guard supported by the Naga. Unlike the adventure map, which is still under construction, the navy in the strategic map has been formed. The fleet consists of 5 small Sea Clan ships, carrying 500 Sea Clan sailors of level 0. But there are no generals or navigators. The diver himself brought 10 level 24 armed Naga swordsmen and 10 level 1 octopus slingers. The level of the Naga swordsman is very high, probably because the diver is a 4-armed Naga and has received the blessing of the system. But what about the 10 level 10 octopus slingers? It seems that these are not hired by himself on the adventure map. And there is not even a system prompt. Xiaoming guessed that this should be a benefit provided by the octopus boss. These powerful long ranges are of great help to the diver's strategic forces. Seeing this, the audience will definitely be very strange. The sea people swim in the water all day long. What is the use of ships? What kind of fleet is formed? This is a unique setting for the sea people in the game. It is mainly to get closer to the combat mode on land. So the underwater map in the strategic map is actually just a map with water. It is divided into several layers such as sea surface, shallow sea, middle sea, and deep sea. Although the soldiers of the sea tribe can swim, they cannot swim for a long time or long distance, and they will get tired. So they need vehicles. The ships of the sea tribe are more like underwater vehicles. They are made from the skeletons of large sea beasts, such as the skeletons of dead whales. Compared with the ships of land races, the ships of the sea tribe are submarines, which can sail in the deep sea and float on the surface. It is poor in durability and long-range attack, but the price is very high. It is almost never sold to land races, and ordinary land races can't play with the ships of the sea race. In this regard, the sea race has no way to deal with the ships of the land race. They can only let them decay. The main task of the ships of the sea race is not to fight with the land races on the sea surface, but to compete with other sea races in the underwater battlefield. What makes the divers most frustrated is that there will be no wreckage of the sea race ships on the seabed, not even a place for shipwrecks. Because the wreckage of the ships of the land races is useless to the sea race, they can leave the wreckage. But the wreckage of the ships of the sea races is useful. Therefore, the wreckage of the sea race ships is almost invisible on the seabed, causing Xiaoming to be unable to pick it up even if he wants to. Not to mention repairing large sea race ships for his own use. There is no way, he can only use the 5 small ships given by the Naga clan. The diver came to the strategic map and chose the place where the fleet of his subordinate Lao Zide appeared and met with them. Although the divers are somewhat interested in the battle under the sea, they are indeed lacking in energy at the moment. So Xiaoming chose to let the divers' fleet and the old shoelaces ships cooperate in the battle. The effect should be very good. With the intelligent program with Soul to take care of it, Xiaoming feels that he can rest assured for the time being. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 636. The two Taoists, Explorer and Fan Rui, were wandering around the territory of the Song dynasty in the adventure map. The two had no specific purpose and were not in a hurry, so they just walked slowly. The treatment of Taoists in the Song dynasty was good. Generally, the government and the common people respected them, and even the bandits were unwilling to provoke them. Along the way, Fan Rui also drew talismans and cast spells to exorcise ghosts and cure diseases, and accumulated some merits. Without Xiao Ming's login, the explorer would not take the initiative to do anything, but just practice qi. Gradually, the explorer's experience of a level 1 qi refiner was practiced to about 1/3. On the other hand, the researcher was also preparing for the battle with the Li family pirates. The main thing was to train soldiers, and the Li family pirates needed to be familiar with the fighting methods of large ships. There was also strategic deployment. Which supply point would be attacked by which unit, how to arrange the time, how to contact each other, how to deal with accidents. Xiao Ming only took a brief look at these two roles, and then became a hands-off shopkeeper, leaving all these troubles to Xiao Er and the others. Huang Xiaoming was the one who caused the entry into the secret realm of Lian Chengju, but the other two souls were in charge. However, Xiaoming's three souls were always connected, so they would not have any emotions towards each other. Silver Xiaoming on Pangustar was dealing with the open lines of Zuxinqiu, Green Xiaoming in Chu Galaxy was arranging the hidden lines of Zergren. Huang Xiaoming on Zheneng had nothing to do. So Huang Xiaoming entered Lian Chengju to follow the plot. Of course, if he saw a little thug making trouble, he would definitely kill him. But in this secret realm, Xiaoming did not have absolute suppression in terms of force. Basically, he would change places after firing a shot, trying to avoid being besieged. The first plot copy was Wan Zhenshin's 50th birthday banquet. The location of the copy was naturally Wan Zhenshin's home. When the first batch of players passed this plot, they followed all the way from the protagonist De Yun's hometown in the countryside. Because of their lack of strength, they could not interfere with the plot and could only watch from a distance. At the climax of the birthday banquet, they also fought fiercely. The Sheneng player group fights against the gangster forces. At that time, the gangster group brought by the enemy forces of the Xian family had a complete upper hand. Of course, the other party must have secretly sent masters. The Xian family was at a loss and had no response. Ordinary players were suppressed in this game. After that, this plot became a copy, and it was impossible to start from the countryside. Only the birthday banquet and the beating of De Yun at night were left. The surroundings of the copy location were strictly controlled by the evil forces and players were prohibited from entering. At the same time, they also gained a certain status in the Wan family and were regarded as the thugs of the Wan family. The control work was done legitimately. It was difficult for ordinary players to participate, even if they concentrated their strength to attack. At most, they would send 1 or 2 people over. This copy requires a minimum of 5 people. The enemy has been occupying 4 of them. Even if the player rushed in, it was basically impossible to succeed with 1 against 4. The players did not learn any serious kung fu. On the contrary, the gangsters were all taught 1 or 2 knife skills or sword skills. In the fight, Sheneng players only lost and never won. Not only this dungeon, but also the following dungeons. They just want to ensure that Sheneng number 2 players cannot pass through. They have controlled the Lian Chengju secret realm for 3 years with this method. Players have also been oppressed for 3 years. Now the dawn has finally come. Of course, the real dawn will have to wait until Xiaoming's light and dark lines come in together to completely change the situation. Now there is only a ray of light before dawn, that is, Zhang Xiaoming. He will not wait for the main force. What he has to do is to pass the dungeon quickly and then open the second secret realm. Xiaoming does not know which of the 3 starting secret realms his parents will choose. In the past, Xiaoming hoped to meet his parents in the secret realm. Now he prays to God and hopes that they will not choose Lian Chengju. But Xiaoming has a rough idea of the second dungeon. It will probably be one of the Legend of the Condor Heroes, the Legend of the Condor Heroes, the Dragon King and the Deer Cauldron. If possible, they will definitely choose the Legend of the Condor Heroes. Because this is the favorite book of his parents. So Xiaoming plans to look for it in the Condor Heroes, or wait for his parents. This is really like looking for a needle in a haystack. Xiaoming has not learned any kung fu in the martial arts secret realm except the internal power of Chang Shengju. However, with the previous martial arts such as Baguazhang, Bajiquan, Xingyiquan, etc., it is really easy to deal with these gangsters. Xiaoming did not force his way in, but tried to hide his body and sneak in. If there is an invisible suit, or if he can use Ju, this matter will be easier. However, Xiaoming has been sneaking around for a long time. Even without these telekinetic means, he is still not easy to be discovered. Being ignored by ordinary people has almost become his instinct. In addition, 3 years have passed, and the control of the underworld over the dungeon has been relaxed a lot, and Xiaoming actually sneaked into the dungeon directly. 5 players are here. The dungeon is open. The voice of the system scared several gangster players. Only 2 of the 4 people jumped up, one was so bored that he fell asleep, and the other was hanging up. The 2 who jumped up were useless, and were knocked unconscious by Xiaoming's punch. The 2 who were slacking off immediately followed their footsteps. In the dungeon, the player's task is to defeat 2 ordinary disciples of the Wan family, and then they can enter the main hall to watch the show. As for whether the player should take action after entering the main hall, it's up to you. The risk of taking action is great, but the benefits are not many. After Xiaoming easily dealt with 2 disciples, he really prepared to watch the show all the time, and he secretly learned a lot of tricks during this period. At the beginning, watching Di Yun and Lu Tong fight, he was still quite interesting. When he saw Wang Zhenchan and his fellow apprentices, Xiaoming secretly compared them in his heart. Although their tricks were quite exquisite, their internal strength was not as continuous as his 3-fold longevity tactics. I guess they couldn't beat him. Later at night, when Wang Gui brought a few fellow apprentices to beat Di Yun, Xiaoming was really angry. What kind of people are they? When I read the book, I was really upset when I saw this part, but there were so many more unpleasant things in the later part, so I forgot the little trouble in the front. However, now that I have experienced it in person, I feel different. These people are really the same as those gangsters, and they are the most hated by the common people. Xiaoming couldn't hold back his anger. He just shot stones from the bushes. The skill of finger-snapping magic is from the magic planet, and it is not recognized or blessed by the system here. Xiaoming just relied on his hand strength and eyesight to shoot stones at people, and he never missed. Moreover, what happened in the dungeon did not affect the main storyline, so Xiaoming did not need to show mercy. The flying stones actually killed all these disciples, which scared the silly boy Di Yun. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 637. The first copy was passed inexplicably, and even the low-ranking gangsters were alert. However, facing Zhang Xiaoming, who could see and hear everything, it was useless for these gangsters to be alert. At most, they would make Xiaoming more careful. Huang Xiaoming's physical fitness has reached the primary level of level 4, which has exceeded the recognition range of the martial arts planet game. In the martial arts planet game, the data body prepared for players is generally around level 1. Shenan players' bodies are all in the game warehouse. After years of nourishment, it is no problem to reach level 1. After arriving at the target galaxy for immigration, players can just get familiar with using the enhanced body. Even if the player practices internal skills in the game, some internal skills will flow in the player's body. The system really provides players with internal strength through the game warehouse. But this benefit is strictly limited. Only some superficial internal skills, or more orthodox internal skills, can have this effect. I won't mention the superficial internal skills. The high-end internal skills that meet this benefit include the internal skills of Quanzhen sect, 9 Yang magic skills, Dragon Elephant Prajna skills, etc. Xiaoming's Changsheng Ju is naturally in this category, and it is the best among them. Many intermediate internal skills require the help of some rare medicinal materials or even poisons to practice, and this kind of internal skills cannot be reflected on players. As for the Sunflower Manual, which requires self-mutilation, let alone the fertility of players on Shenanigans is the basis of immigration. Therefore, in the martial arts planet, that kind of martial arts is absolutely prohibited. Even if you find ways to obtain the Sunflower Manual, players will find that it is all garbled. The Legend of the Twin Dragons of the Tang Dynasty is the main game of the martial arts planet, and the Changsheng Ju in it is the signature of the Twin Dragons. Therefore, the Changsheng Ju is the most unimpeded in the martial arts planet. It seems unreasonable that a kind of internal skill is unimpeded in an online game. It should be said that the creative team of this game includes a large number of martial arts masters, reincarnations. I also used a little bit of the Fuxican's authority to create this game. This little bit of authority was provided by the Nine-Tailed Fox. Those weird internal skills are not that the game cannot realize them, but that the creative team deliberately suppressed that kind of kung fu. Referring to the purpose of the Sheneng project, I believe everyone can understand why this is done. Xiaoming's longevity secret has been recognized by the martial arts planet, but in terms of physical fitness, the upper limit of the martial arts planet is the second intermediate level. This game advocates martial arts. Physical fitness above the second level usually has some tricks. We know that there are also reincarnations with fifth level physical fitness. If they enter this game, they will also be assigned a fifth level data body. That's not martial arts shit. Just based on physical fitness, he can crush a group of players. This is what the game creation team doesn't want to see. Therefore, the strongest physical data provided by the martial arts planet for players is the second intermediate level. That is the level of Xiaoming's current character. Even if some players practice extremely strong internal skills in the future and are qualified to obtain a higher level body, the system will still suppress them. The internal force can be very strong, but the body data cannot be stronger. Give other players some chances to survive. These strong men can shine in reality. In fact, most martial arts masters are only strong when they use their internal strength. The body data in normal state will not exceed level 2. Although the physical properties of the body are suppressed by the game system. But Xiaoming's senses are still too strong. Vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch have all reached the peak state of the human body. You can feel the appearance of players or NPCs from a long distance. Xiaoming suspects that this is due to the bonus brought by his cultivation of the small universe, which gives him a strong fifth sense and sixth sense. Although the small universe cannot be used in the game, the enhanced sensory ability is difficult to suppress. As Zhang Xiaoming becomes more familiar with the data body, this sensibility will become stronger and stronger. So under the strict defense of the gangsters, Xiaoming still easily passed the copy where Qi Changfa was killed by Wang Zhenshan, the copy where De Yun was framed, the copy where De Yun suffered in prison. The gangsters were confused. The peripheral personnel they arranged did not see Xiaoming at all, but the few people waiting in the copy saw a vague outline and were killed by Xiaoming's flying stones. Finally, it came to the most important copy in the early stage of the secret realm, Ding Dian's transmission of skills. This copy is not only a turning point in the fate of the male protagonist De Yun, but also an important hurdle for the players in the secret realm. After successfully passing this copy, the player can choose the second secret realm. This is Xiaoming's primary goal. This copy is a bit special. It does not limit the minimum number of players, but limits the upper limit of the number of players to 5. At the beginning of the copy, the player appears in the cell of Ding Dian and De Yun. The task is to survive Ding Dian's hands and escape from the cell first. Then defeat the end guards arranged by Ling's Hifu outside the cell and escape completely. It is considered a pass. The difficulty of this copy is actually quite high. It is not easy to survive Ding Dian, who is proficient in the Shenzheijing. Players need to work together to give up 4 and save 1. But once a player has passed a dungeon, he can no longer return to help others pass it. This is a trap. How did the gang deal with this situation? This dungeon requires the enemy forces of the Shen family, the mastermind behind the scenes, to take action. They prepared martial arts masters among the 4 reincarnations. These 4 people can work together to resist Ding Dian's attack for a period of time, and then abandon 2 of them to entangle Ding Dian, and the other 2 can cover the 5th player to pass the level. These 4 people will never pass this dungeon, and are responsible for sending players through the level. Ding Dian is already equivalent to the peak of martial arts in Lian Chengju. If the 4 reincarnations are not restricted, they can still beat him. But in this game, with only a 2nd level physical fitness and the restriction of only being able to use martial arts, they can only do this. This is just right for the mastermind behind the scenes. There is no point in using stronger people, but it is a waste of resources. It is conceivable that only the gangsters or those allowed by the mastermind behind the scenes can be sent through the dungeon. If someone intends to break in by force, these 4 people will also join the dungeon. But the purpose at that time is to make trouble. Without their permission, no player can pass this dungeon. Since there is no limit on the number of people in this dungeon, they must discuss before entering the dungeon together. So the 4 of them could not wait in the dungeon in advance. They could only guard outside the dungeon door vigilantly. The lights in the cell were dim and there were not many people. Occasionally, a few soldiers patrolled back and forth. The identities of the 4 reincarnations were jailers. They stood directly in front of Ding Dian's cell. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 638. Now this prison has long been empty, Ding Dian and Di Yun are no longer there. Only the bloodstains on the masonry floor, which were so dim that they were almost invisible, still remembered the bloody storm here. The person is not here, but the copy needs to be here to activate. The 4 reincarnation guards are here as jailers. I saw that these 4 people were quite good at martial arts, and they looked like masters when they stood there, which was different from those little gangsters. Xiaoming didn't plan to attack them sneakily, so he walked over openly. The other party was not surprised when they saw Xiaoming walking slowly. One of them asked loudly, "Your Excellency, you are the master who has broken through several dungeons in half a day, right? It's a pleasure to meet you." "Exactly," Xiaoming said concisely. "We admire your Excellency in martial arts very much. My master actually doesn't want to be your enemy." Oh, this opening statement was beyond Xiaoming's expectation. "As long as you promise not to disclose the situation in Lian Chengju to outsiders, we are willing to help you." Hearing this, Xiaoming couldn't help but take a closer look at the speaker. Even though he was wearing a jailer's soapcoat, this man still gave people the feeling of being upright. No matter how you look at it, he is a good guy. "Why do you work for such a master?" Thinking of this, Xiaoming shook his head again. Xiaoming didn't know the inside story of the grievances between the Shen family and the other party, and he was not qualified to judge. However, Xiaoming would definitely look down upon the fact that they hired the underworld to mess up the order of Liancheng's secret realm. "Oh? If I promise, how can you be sure that I will keep my word?" Xiaoming joked. "Your Excellency, you are joking. With your skills, as long as you give a promise, we will admit it. If I am wrong, I am blind." He answered solemnly, and his words were sincere. Xiaoming was a little surprised. Forget it, Xiaoming thought for a moment and gave up the idea of simply clearing the level. Replied, "I don't want to make any promises for this little thing, so let's do it." "Okay, then I'm offended." Several people even skipped the step of announcing their names. As a reincarnation person, the names you sign up for are all nicknames. Since they are not friends, there is no need to even use nicknames. The four of them drew their weapons together, using 2 swords, and slowly walked to the 4 corners of Xiao Ming's body. There is a vague feeling of formation. Seeing that Xiao Ming was unmoved, he did not pick up any weapons. They knew this one was ready. The 4 people drew their swords together, and the 4 weapons divided into 4 directions and came at lightning speed. The tricks are extremely subtle. The 2 swords cooperate with each other, the 2 swords also cooperate with each other, the 2 swords and the 2 swords can cooperate with one another, attacking the vital points of Xiao Ming's body separately, but in a well-organized manner. The 4 weapons would arrive in turn, covering up each other's flaws in each other's moves, and also sealing off Xiao Ming's evasive escape routes. Such a wonderful move can be regarded as the pinnacle of skill. Xiao Ming probably guessed some of the origin. Their kung fu is probably the positive and negative sword skills of the Huashan and Kunlun schools. It's a pity that their internal strength is really not enough, so they can use their strength to break the situation. Xiao Ming spread his hands and fired dozens of stones at the 4 people. No less than the so-called rain of flowers in the sky. The 4 of them had known about Xiao Ming's ability with hidden weapons, and were already on guard against this, so they all reserved 3 points of strength when making moves. At this time, he couldn't dodge, but he could immediately withdraw his moves and wave his weapons to block the stones. However, with the inner strength of the immortality secret, how could the power of the stones shot by Xiao Ming be resisted by their weapons? As soon as the sword made contact with the stone, it was abruptly interrupted. The other stones hit the vital points of the 4 people without any obstruction. 4 people fell in a pool of blood, mortally wounded, and groaned. Maybe if you hold on for a while, it's time to return to the resurrection point. It's so easy to hit them. Xiao Ming didn't use any special tricks. He has regained the feeling of using the magical power of snapping his fingers. This trick is really easy to use. It is estimated that hitting people with stones from a distance will be Xiao Ming's main fighting method in the martial arts planet. After opening the dungeon, Ding Dian stared at Zhang Xiaoming and did not take action first. Ding Dian, who possesses the inner strength of the upper level of Shen Zhaojing, can naturally feel the floating and dusty characteristics of the immortal art. Well, this is actually the game's preferential treatment for players who have mastered upper-level martial arts. The masters among the NPCs will automatically give you a high look. Your Excellency, you are not here for the Lian Chengju, are you? Ding Dian frowned and said. The internal strength of the person opposite is terrifying. Although Ding Dian himself was not afraid, he could not protect the safety of Di Yun. Ding Dian was not afraid of death and only wanted to save Di Yun's life. This stupid boy really didn't deserve to die here. Of course not. My original intention was to rescue this kid. Now it seems that there is no need. Xiao Ming said these 2 words and turned around to leave, leaving his back to Ding Dian, as if he was not afraid of his sneak attack at all. Ding Dian changed several expressions in an instant, but in the end he didn't take action. Because the person who should take action has already arrived. The moment Xiao Ming stepped out of the cell, a dozen jailers with some skills and 3 ordinary disciples from the Wan family were already shouting and waving their weapons to kill them. However, like infantrymen facing machine gun fire, corpses lay on the ground. Xiao Ming walked out of the prison calmly. Also walked out of the copy. People have come out of the prison. The system prompts that Xiao Ming has been rewarded with some silver and 3 months of internal force cultivation. This may be the best reward a player can get in the dungeon. 3 months of internal force cultivation of Chang Shengju is not low. Of course, with Xiao Ming's cultivation speed, it will take about a week. This dungeon passed too quickly. Those reincarnations knocked down by Xiao Ming are not dead yet. The news has not spread. Xiao Ming is in a good mood, so he is too lazy to bother with other gangsters and quickly returns to the inn. Start to choose the second secret realm. The next choice of improved secret realms are, the Sword of Blood and Jade, the Book and the Sword, the Snow Mountain Flying Fox, the Legend of the Flying Fox, and the Knight's Ode. It seems that the most popular long stories are placed at the end to whet people's appetite. The Snow Mountain Flying Fox is not long, but it may be classified as an improved secret realm because of its connection with the Legend of the Flying Fox. The ultimate secret realms representing those long stories can only be opened after reaching a higher stage in the secret realm improvement. Xiaoming was very worried about making the wrong choice, so he quit the game and asked Xi and Shui in person. If you send your shadow clone over for this kind of thing, it would be strange if it wasn't chopped by this female death god. It's only in a hurry. I learned from Xi and Shui that this is indeed the case, and a player can open up to 3 secret realms at the same time. If you want to open the 4th secret realm, you have to completely clear an old secret realm. It's really necessary to ask this time. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 639. The privileged class is everywhere. The most privileged family in the martial arts planet is the Xian family. The Xian family was allocated a batch of special game warehouses at the beginning. There is no need to follow the order of starting secret realm rightward arrow improving secret realm rightward arrow final secret realm. You can choose any 3 secret realms at the beginning. 1 for each secret realm. Even the core members of the Xian family can use more privileged game warehouses. There is no limit on the number of secret realms to choose. In Zinshuakao, there are only 5 such highest level game warehouses. However, the special game warehouses obtained by the Xian family were issued, but they were unable to manufacture them. For 3 years, all the privileged game warehouses have been bound to the people of the Xian family one by one. So now Xiaoming came, he couldn't get a privileged game warehouse. Xiaoming regretted it so much, he was busy clearing the Lian Chengju copy. It would be great if he had asked earlier and knew the news earlier. The Xian family didn't mention it to him on their own, naturally they were a little embarrassed, and also to take care of Xiaoming's face. Because they couldn't give Xiaoming a special game chamber, if they took the initiative to bring it up, it would seem like they were showing off, which would attract a lot of hatred. They naturally didn't know that Xiaoming had triple source energy. Isn't it just a special game chamber? We can get it by strengthening it ourselves. Xiaoming, who returned to his residence, triple strengthened his game chamber while sighing at the wonders of the world. If he had strengthened the game chamber earlier, it is conceivable that he would definitely not choose the secret realm of the untold story. Then he would not have discovered the conspiracy of the enemy of the Shen family. What kind of chain reaction would occur afterwards is still unknown. But it can't be a good thing after all. It may even affect Xiaoming's parents. Now it can be regarded as a blessing in disguise. After strengthening the game chamber with triple source energy, Huang Xiaoming entered the game and found that the strengthening direction of this game chamber was a bit strange. It was not strengthened to the extent that the 14 secret realms could be chosen at will as Shen Shui said. It was only to the extent that 3 secret realms could be chosen. However, Xiaoming was given a very special authority, allowing him to replace a supporting role in a secret realm. Although there are 14 secret realms in total, there is only 1 replacement quota, so you must be careful. And this supporting role also has strict restrictions. First, it must not be a villain. Second, his martial arts can only be that of an ordinary master. Finally, the player must also practice this person's original martial arts to the level of this supporting role, otherwise he cannot enter the secret realm to replace him. Wow! Xiaoming's eyes were straight. This permission is super awesome. Just think about it, with the help of this supporting role, you can directly integrate into the secret realm, and the player is familiar with the plot. What a great advantage that is. Even if ordinary players are familiar with the plot, they can't play too much in the early stage. The reason is nothing more than the identity problem. The game setting, if the player's identity is not up to it, it is the active spoiler, and the plot characters will be the same as if they didn't hear it. But as long as you have an identity recognized by the plot characters, it's like the sea is wide for fish to leap, and the sky is high for birds to fly. So the system does not allow players to choose villains, probably to maintain the righteousness in the game. The last restriction is very difficult for most players, even most reincarnations. You can't cheat with supernatural energy. It's almost impossible to practice martial arts to the level of the plot characters. Even the supporting characters with average martial arts skills have practiced hard for more than 10 or 20 years, and players can't easily catch up. Of course, this can only stump other players. Xiaoming has the Changshengju as a guarantee, and he is confident that it is not difficult. Thinking about more than 10 optional secret realms and hundreds of supporting characters, even Xiaoming, who doesn't have choice difficulties, is now difficult to make a decision. According to the difficulty of the copy of Lian Chengju, his parents are likely to be in one of the 3 starting secret realms. Unless they are really lucky, it is unlikely that they will open the second secret realm in 3 years. But Xiaoming can't enter the starting secret realm to find them unless he clears Lian Chengju first. Not to mention whether Xiaoming's martial arts are enough, there are not so many players who meet the standards in the secret realm to advance the plot. For now, let the insect human send some insect hands to help him find his parents. There is strength in numbers, which is worse than searching blindly. Next, Xiaoming began to consider the character to be replaced. Xiaoming found that it was not a good idea to think about it here. The system may not agree with the character he had thought about. Why not see how many options the system gives? One by one, the characters began to float in front of him. Xiaoming was interested in many of them, especially when the Dragon Knight UnlimitedFlow floated past his eyes. Although this guy made a big mistake, he was hated by the fans. But there were also many people who were envious and jealous. Xiaoming almost chose UnlimitedFlow. After a closer look, damn! I made a mistake. This is UnlimitedFlow in the Legend of the Condor Heroes, and he has nothing to do with the secret realm of the Condor Heroes. It was a close call. Xiaoming breathed a sigh of relief, and then his attention was attracted by another character, Zhang Ashen. Seeing him, Xiaoming thought of the 7 freaks of Jiangnan. Some fans don't like the 7 freaks of Jiangnan, mainly because they don't agree with Guojing and Huangrong's marriage. The eldest brother Kaijinwu has a temper like a stubborn donkey, which is indeed a bit annoying. However, Xiaoming has a pretty good impression of these 7 people. These 7 people all come from the bottom of society and know the sufferings of the people. Although their martial arts are not high, they are more virtuous. Like the 7 sons of Quanzhen, their martial arts have reached a certain level, and they have a strong background and strength. They go out to do justice, just like rich people donating a little money to charity. Xiaoming does not admire them very much. The 7 freaks of Jiangnan are different. With their martial arts level, they are also doing the same thing. They are definitely more worthy of respect than the 7 sons of Quanzhen. Especially for a promise, 7 people left the comfortable life in the water town of Jiangnan and went deep into the harsh environment of the desert. They lived there for 18 years. They worked hard to cultivate a stupid boy into a talent. Maybe Guojing's powerful martial arts did not come from the 7 freaks of Jiangnan, but the spirit of chivalry is definitely inseparable from the words and deeds of these 7 people. Looking at the world and throughout history, I don't know how many people can do it. It is certainly valuable to sacrifice one's life for a while, but the spirit of the Jiangnan 7 freaks, who spent nearly 20 years of their lives and youth to fulfill a promise, is even more admirable. Xiaoming thinks so anyway. Besides the eldest brother Kaijinwu, The endings of the other 6 people are also very miserable. Especially Han Xiaoying. Xiaoming naturally feels pity. Seeing that Zhang Ashen can still choose, it means that this person is not dead yet. Maybe I can help them. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 640. Speaking of which, there are too many supporting characters in the big book who deserve pity or rescue. For example, in the Untold Story, isn't Qi Fang, Di Yun's junior sister, worth saving? The main reason why Xiaoming chose the 7 freaks of Jiangnan is that he saw them first. It brought back memories of watching The Legend of the Condor Heroes. When I was young, when I read books, of course I liked those characters with high kung fu and high style. For example, Huang Yaoshi, who put on a big shelf. But as I get older, when I read the same book again, I feel different. In the book The Legend of the Condor Heroes, the favorite characters may still be those wonderful protagonists, especially the little Huang Rong. But when it comes to the characters I want to help the most, it is the 7 freaks of Jiangnan, Yang Taixin's family, and Li Ping's family. And Xiaoming saw Zhang Ashen first. Among the 7 freaks of Jiangnan, the most suitable choice is naturally the eldest brother with the highest martial arts and the most effective words, the flying bat Cajun Wu. The second best martial artist is Zhu Kong, the think tank among the 7 freaks of Jiangnan, and the wonderful scholar. Replacing these 2 people is the easiest to change the fate of the 7 freaks of Jiangnan. But these 2 cannot be chosen. I don't know if it's because their martial arts are a bit high or because their roles are more important. Anyway, they cannot be chosen. Han Xiaoying, the Sword of Yu, is a girl, so she can't be chosen either. On the one hand, Xiao Michuo Zhang Ashen is related to Han Xiaoying, and on the other hand, Xiaoming is also worried about the plot killing. What if I can't change his fate, and he dies early after replacing this character, wouldn't it be bad luck? It's not easy to have such an opportunity, so I have to cherish it. Han Baoju, the god of horses, is extremely short and fat, and he doesn't match me very well. It's said that Xiaoming used to be only 1.7 meters tall with shoes on. Because of his height, he suffered a lot of discrimination, and he was still very resistant to becoming shorter. The hidden hero in the city is all blonde, his weapon is a large beam scale, and he uses the exquisite Huan spear technique. It's too difficult to learn. Xiaoming doesn't want to spend energy on this. Only Nan Ziren, the woodcutter from Nanshan, is the most suitable. He has a strong body, which means high physical attributes. He uses a pure steel shoulder pole and Nanshan palm technique. Nanshan palm is a relatively simple skill, easy to imitate. He doesn't have any exquisite tricks when using a carrying pole. Moreover, Nan Ziren rarely speaks, but when he speaks, he hits the nail on the head, and he has a lot of prestige among the 7 monsters. People who speak less are naturally easy to replace. People with prestige are also easy to gain trust. So he was chosen. In fact, some of Xiaoming's ideas are correct, and some are also groundless. Since it is an identity arranged by the system, the 7 monsters of Jiangnan will accept him, regardless of whether he pretends to be like him or not. As Xiaoming expected, it is indeed very easy to imitate Nan Ziren's martial arts. The system gave several tests, and Xiaoming could easily reach Nan Ziren's standards. Xiaoming's mental power is very strong, and he can master Nanshan Palm in less than half an hour. Officially qualified to enter. Entered the secret realm of the Legend of the Condor Heroes. Xiaoming hoped to cut into the time before the 7 monsters of Jiangnan met Qiu Chuji in Ziwixianlu. He thought that not many players would pass the starting secret realm, let alone enter this ultimate secret realm. So it is very likely that the plot was not promoted at all. However, Xiaoming forgot about the Xin family. The Xin family also has some emphasis in the 6 ultimate secret realms. Fortunately, the main characters are concentrated in the demigods and semi-devils. The martial arts there are strong enough and worth a lot of effort. The several magical skills of the Xiaoao sect may be able to compete with the Changshengju. This resulted in not many people being assigned to other secret realms. But after 3 years, these people in the Legend of the Condor Heroes finally pushed the plot a little bit. Now the plot of the bet between the 7 freaks of Jiangnan and Qiu Chuji has ended for a while. To be honest, Xiaoming actually planned to exchange them. It was just right to hand Guojing over to the Quanzhen sect, and Yangkang would be taught by the 7 freaks of Jiangnan. Yangkang is easy to find. Xiaoming had planned it out. Even if he had to use force, he must get Bao Ziruo and Yangkang out of Wanyan Hungli's palace. Although Wanyan Hungli was quite good to the mother and son, Yangkang's final transformation into that kind of person was inseparable from Wanyan Hungli's teachings. How many tragedies have been caused by this? Xiaoming wants to save Bao Ziruo from the source and reunite her with Yang Taixin in the future. As for Yangkang, he is just a bonus. If this kid is brought up by the Jiangnan 7 freaks and still doesn't learn well, Xiaoming doesn't mind cleaning up the family. Unfortunately, Xiaoming is just daydreaming. Even if Xiaoming replaces Nan Ziren's identity, the system cannot allow such a big plot twist from the beginning. How can the plot develop in the future? It's equivalent to rewriting a book. Therefore, even if Xiaoming enters the plot earlier, there is no chance to change this gamble. It is a bit possible to save poor Master Jiamu. Unfortunately, Master Jiamu does not have this luck. At this time, the Jiangnan 7 freaks have entered the desert and are searching for Li Ping and Guojing mother and son. But I don't know what year it is now. According to the original work, the Jiangnan 7 freaks met Guojing when he was 6 years old. After meeting Guojing, they will encounter the Black Wind twins. Let alone the others, even Xiaoming couldn't beat the Black Wind twins. It was extremely difficult to save Zhang Ashen. He might even cause a butterfly effect, which would cause the death of 1 or 2 more brothers, which would be even more troublesome. Fortunately, Xiaoming heard the conversations of the others and learned that the 7 devils had only been in the desert for more than a year, and Guojing was only 2 years old. It is hard to say where Li Ping and Guojing are. They are nomads living with the Mongols, so it is not easy to find them. At the same time, Xiaoming is a little worried. If they are found in advance, it may trigger the plot of the Black Wind twins in advance, which is still very tricky. It is better to teach the brothers the inner strength of Changshengju while there are still a few years of Kung Fu. With 4 years of Changshengju inner strength, the chance of winning against the Black Wind twins will be higher. As for the source of the inner strength, it is necessary to make up a decent lie. This opportunity came soon. The Jiangnan 7 freaks arrived at a place where the Mongols gathered, which was a good place to find people. Zhu Kong suggested that everyone disperse to look for clues. It is easier to get things done with more people. In the territory of the Mongols, the Kung Fu of the 7 freaks is enough to protect themselves. Taking this opportunity, Xiaoming went to look for clues alone as a team. In fact, he ran to the desert and stayed for several days. These days are the time in the game, which is only a few hours in reality. As the only player with a plot identity in the secret realm, he can speed up the progress of time. The dates in the secret realm are basically irrelevant to other players. If the plot is not advanced, the plot time may be stuck in a certain year and not move at all. Even if the player has played for several years, time will not pass.